There we go. I think we got it. Not sure how good it'll be, but. Okay. Can everybody hear me okay, first of all? So I know I got that right. All right. Are we good to go? Okay. I cannot see the chat over here. Hello, welcome. I'm running single tonight. Lance is in bed sick and struggling, so I'm going to try to run 2 screens at one time. So everybody bear with me. We'll do a quick check-in and hopefully I can handle this by myself. I miss my secretary when he's sick. So, okay, come on in. I'll fill you in. I am fasting. I am trying to keep through. Lance is sipping some bone broth and stuff like that so he can take some medicine. So we're trying to get through and stay on this track of 72s that we're trying to do right now. It stinks doing it by yourself, but put my big girl pants on, need to do it. I need to keep my glucose going and everything cleaning up. Keep going. We're going to push through to 72 one way or the other. He's going to use the bone broth as his tool and stuff like that. We're going at it. So I'm okay today. Today's usually the hard day for me. So once I get through tonight, I'll be good. Then tomorrow will be much better. I feel better. My numbers will kick in better. Everything kind of happens on Tuesday and Wednesday for me. So we're hoping that stays again and I can keep it together. So we're doing that. Trying to think, nothing big over the weekend. We stayed the course, nothing dramatic. We did go out for seafood the other night. We didn't eat the potato, you know how it comes in those big troughs with all the different seafoods with the potatoes and the corn and everything. We ate the seafood, drowning in that butter, but we didn't touch the corn or the potatoes or anything like that. But I think we ate our body weight in seafood. So he's probably over on our protein macros a little bit, but nothing bad. But it was a different meal for us. And just doing that different thing. Of course, my numbers weren't so good over the weekend. If we do anything off the rails like that, it just always, you pay for it one way or the other. So it is what it is, but we don't do it often. So it's one of those things. We'll figure it out when we do it, but we're going to shoot some cleanup this week. So that's where we're at. Come in, let me know where you're at, how you're fasting, how you're feeling. Give us a win and give us a struggle. So come on in, Olivia, start us off. Let's get the rock star going first.
You're much too kind. No.
No. If I got numbers like that, I'd tattoo the babies on me, I think.
Tattoo them. No.
PBR.
So it started week number 4 of the water fast this past Sunday. And yeah, feeling good. This is the first time since I've been doing this, for 5 years that I've actually stayed in ketosis as long as I have stayed. And it's 4 weeks now. So that's been since September 16th, the day after I had the wedding anniversary meal. But anyway, so going into the fasts, it's just so different when you're in ketosis and you go into it. It's just much easier. I don't have the struggles anymore that I used to have when I tried, doing them and not being ketosis. So, that's what's really helped. And so my weekend was kind of like yours. It was uneventful. Nothing happened, ate at home kind of thing. So yeah, doing good.
Good job. Olivia, I think that's so cool because Olivia has been doing this for a long time. So she knows how to read her chemistry, how to play with it, she knows how to, when she goes off the wagon, she's going to jump right back on and knows how to do it. But just hearing that consistency of staying in ketosis, that is where that deep, deep healing is going to come from. And Olivia, I'm just so proud of you because that's not an easy thing to do. So getting that chemistry to stay steady and stable, that's a goal that we're all reaching for. That is something we all want so that you're not getting those volatile ups and downs and everything like that. Or if it goes up because you eat, it should come right back. It should come back down when our bodies is functioning correctly. So that's always such a win to see or hear somebody say that, hey, I'm reaching those levels. That's where the work you're doing is paying off. So that's just awesome. So we're proud of you, Olivia. And I love watching your journey. It's just too cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So come on in, Linda and Rob. Are you guys ready? Can't hear you. You're still muted.
They knew what was going to happen. They knew the reaction of this was part. They should have reacted.
You talking to us?
Yeah. Settle
Oh,
in here.
okay. Well, the screen froze and then your voice was coming in and out, so we didn't know.
Oh, can you hear me okay? I might be doing something wrong. So
Yeah, okay, you're back. Okay.
that better? Okay. Come on in. Tell me how you're doing. Check in.
Okay, we're on day 2 of sardines. Day 2.
Okay. Do we need to just leave it at that?
Well, we're eating them.
Okay. That's a win. Take the win. Are you getting a whole can in you a day?
Yeah, between two, usually about between 12 and 1, and then we finished about 4.
About 3:30.
About 3:30 we finished. So I had my other half at then.
Good. So if you're getting that whole can in you, then at least we know you're getting nutrition in. You know, your nutrition is there. Now it's playing in the mind game. So are you making it clean the rest of the time, the rest of the hours?
Trying.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you're doing good. With me, I felt like not eating anything today, but I thought now I better.
If you're hitting the point that you're not hungry and skipping a meal, then that's a little sign of you need to push.
I was afraid that I needed my protein and fat, so I quit this losing weight trend.
Yeah, he can't lose anymore.
Just know your body. I have one fly flying around here. Your body will level out where it needs to be. I'd rather see you get the cellular health. You can open that eating window up when you're on your feeding days if you need to get more in you. But I don't know. I'd be curious to see how you can play with that because I want you to be getting those good. What are your numbers? Do you know?
Well, just after we started the sardine challenge yesterday, and this morning I was at 119 glucose and 0.3 ketones.
Okay. So we still need to get that. We need to get that work on getting that glucose down. So, you know, you're doing some good fast. I wouldn't count that out. So we can play with.
I know why my glucose was high.
Why is that?
I made a trip to Rite Aid and they had my favorite ice cream and she loaded me up. So that's why that was high.
Okay. I gotcha. Oh, you guys are killing me.
On Saturday night, he did that.
Saturday night, yeah. So I know that's why my numbers are at 119, but I expect them to be down tomorrow. So I will tell you what they are tomorrow.
Post tomorrow so I can check in on you, Rita. That'll work. Hey, we drove right past Crumble Cookie Place. Does anybody know what crumble cookies are? Do you guys have, we just got them. Oh my word.
It is 1,200 calories a cookie.
Per cookie.
Oh,
per cookie. They're the size of your head. But they are the best darn, oh my gosh, they're awful.
You get a gold star for driving past.
We drove right past.
They sound like a Jersey Mike's chocolate chip cookie.
I don't know what that is, but they all sound, they're just these, they're just these big homemade cookie tasting. My last
Can we
splurge.
not talk about cookies?
Okay, let's skip that. Just know I drove right by and it was really hard. So you got to drive past the ice cream. Was my point in that?
You're never supposed to eat anything bigger than your head.
Right.
All right.
No doubt. So hang in there. Let me know what your numbers are once you clean up a little bit. Let me know. Let me know how to do it. I'd rather play with you. I'd love to see you see what your numbers are doing, because I want to see you get into those good DBRs to get the healing factor and hitting the autophagy and stuff like that. Then play with your eating window. Maybe both of you need to be at a 4-hour eating window on your feeding days, because as soon as she gets through the sardines for a little bit, she needs to jump into the water fast too. So then you guys will be doing a clean fast together. So that would be.
Yeah, well, when we were doing the fast before, the challenges before, my DBRs got down to 14, 18,
nice.
21.
And that's with the sardines, right?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So
Mine was
imagine
going
if
on-
you make it through a clean one, what they'll do.
Well, those were clean ones.
Not
Those
a
were
treat.
clean sardines.
No. No, two separate things. Clean fast, sardine fast. Or sardine challenge.
Oh,
So-
I see. Okay.
Sardines, use that, master that. And then once you get mastered on the sardines, then we're going to push you to a clean fast. And that's when you're going to hit a whole new level. Then you hit rock star status like Olivia.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but your numbers, you'll get through that with your numbers. We got to get you mastered in that 4-hour window of eating the sardines and getting that nutrition in you. Then we'll push you into that. One step at a time.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions for the week that you're not sure what to do?
Any questions?
No. Our plan is we're going to start another challenge on Friday because we're leaving on vacation on Monday.
Okay.
We'll be gone a week.
Oh, another sardine challenge starting Friday. Yeah. So we'll have like 2 days off of the sardines, and then we'll go back on them.
That'll work. And then be ready to clean up when you come home from vacation.
Yeah.
Hopefully not much.
Not much, because we've already planned out where we're going to go out for eating, and we know what not to get, which
Good.
is more important than what to get.
Absolutely.
And we've already planned out the meals when we're up there. You know, we're going to be sticking to it pretty close.
Good.
Because we're just going up, we're just camping and fishing.
Oh, easy enough. Just don't pack anything you don't want to eat.
That's it. Yeah.
So when you're sitting in the woods, you can't do anything. So only take with you what you want to consume. So that sounds like the safest plan I think I've ever heard.
Well, we call it camping. Actually, we're driving our fifth wheel up there, and it's got all the amenities anyway. So,
But you need to
it's
go
not like
clean
we're
it out.
sitting on a log in a tent in the woods.
Oh, we're losing you. We're losing you again.
Yeah, it's breaking up. I don't know.
All right. All right, honey. Let me know if you need anything. Come on in, Susan. How's the week going? How are you doing? How are you holding up?
Which Susan?
Oh, Susan H. Go, Susan. You're up. We'll go to others.
I am on Olivia's schedule, my 4th clean fast. I'm running with drboz said, luck lies with the beginners or whatever. I don't know her phrase, but I'm holding that. I'm like, as much as it sometimes pains me, I want to do these 8 weeks like astoundingly well.
Yes.
So, but it is, it's very up, and this was a much harder weekend than last week, last weekend, but something about that. It's like, this is my beginner shot. So I'm running with it.
Take it and run and enjoy every second. That's awesome. First of all, that you're making it through it and committed to them. Those 8 weeks in a row, those are tough, but to see what your chemistry can do in those 8 weeks is just confirmation of how you move forward and to heal further and hit the next level of healing. One more, you're hitting autophagy better and easier. So, like Olivia was saying earlier, to go into these fasts truly in ketosis, you're the way you feel through them, the way you can push through them, the goals you accomplish through them is a night and day difference. And that's the difference kind of doing this drboz style is we get into ketosis to be able to fast. We don't fast to get into ketosis. And it's a total different chemistry shift for us. When you're in ketosis, the results of what you're getting through that fasting is just so much better. So good job. Good job. Any questions? Anything you're not sure of this week?
No, it's complicated because it's a whole new chemistry for my body. And so every so often it's like, what's going on?
And especially when you can get at one point of it and you feel really good. And then another minute of it is like, I'm struggling. Like it's tough.
Yeah.
And you have to learn too, this is where you start to learn what are your triggers and habits? What are your addictions and when do they kick in? Is it when you're stressed out? Is it when you're, he came home and I got him all tucked in and ready for bed. And it was like, God, I just want a nice warm coffee and it was like, I didn't need anything, but feeling bad for him. It's like, kind of thing. I caught myself thinking differently. And it's like, no, I'm fine, kind of thing. But you'll find those moments, and it's that emotional connection that you're used to when you get stressed out or you're tired at the end of a long day or whatever you're used to feeding the face when these happen. It's neat to learn your chemistry and your patterns, because that's how you're going to heal the brain. That's how the brain is going to kick in later of, you know what, I need a new coping skill. I broke out my yarn again last night. I'm going to start knitting and crocheting and stuff again. And it's like, I need a new coping skill to keep me busy. I need something that I enjoy. Winter's getting ready. We're getting ready into fall here. It's getting cold. We're not going to be outside. Find something you love and enjoy to get you through those moments when your brain, we know your chemistry is okay, but your brain is still going to say, hey, I want to do this. It's 5 o'clock. You need to be eating dinner. I mean, those kind of things will still kick in. So be mindful of them and work through them. If anybody's struggling through those moments, use your journal, use the workbook to figure out what you're dealing with, and actually dig through the emotions to figure out what is triggering this. Are you bored, lonely, sad, tired, whatever. Figure out what you're truly working with before you do it. So good job, Susan. I'm proud of you.
Okay.
Ride that beginner's wave as long as you can.
I am gonna.
Ride it for everything it's worth. All right. Other Susan, come on in. I didn't mean to cut you off there, and we were picking Susan. So come on in.
It's okay. I'm not alone in the Susan world.
Right?
There are many of us.
That's a
I've
good thing.
noticed. I seem to be doing well. I was just trying to post my numbers on the board, but I can't find it so far.
On the group page?
Yeah. So anyway, that's a project I'll keep trying.
I say, stick afterwards. I'll help you. Or just go search, go up into the
Okay.
search bar.
Yeah.
Can you not find the
It's
group?
there? I know that your page is there, so I can't be too far away. I seem to be staying in ketosis easily, which is
Nice.
good. My blood sugar, I've got a CGM on this week, and my numbers are definitely since my last fast, and it only was a 48-hour fast. Maybe it was 46. It seems to be now below 100
Nice.
steadily. So that's one of the things I want to not get is diabetes. And so that's good. And I'm sticking to the plan pretty much.
Yep.
I haven't had any carbs really.
Good.
So I'm hanging in there. I kind of going to try with this 48-hour fast every week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And those fasts, a lot of people panic when they see us all doing the fast and saying that we want to do that. Just know, we've done this after our chemistry is ready for it. This is not something we just wake up and stop eating. There is a difference of starving yourself and truly fasting while you're in ketosis. There is a night and day difference. So it's not one of those, I remember when I first started with drboz, I remember saying, I can do this program, but there is no way in hell I'm ever going to fast. I'm hypoglycemic. I will die. And when you get that chemistry shift going and you learn how to do that, and it is such a powerful shift. And I think it's such a mindset that we have to work on and continue to change to show that, okay, I don't need the carbs. I can function just fine. I'm getting more than enough nutrition in me. It's breaking that mental game and the habit of your brain and the addiction. Trying to make those changes is the hard part. I can change your chemistry in a few days, but changing your mindset of I'm stressed, I'm tired, I'm hurt, I'm lonely, I'm bored, and you want to go eat because that's the only coping skill we know how to deal with. And that's where the difference comes in of what we try to do. So good job, Susan. I'm glad you're sticking with it. That is exactly how you're going to prevent the diabetes, and not waving in and out of it is the best thing for the healing and the best thing for your body to stay consistent. So good job, Susan. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Philip, come on in. Hey, Terry, glad you made it,
Hey.
honey.
Yeah, well, what are we in fourth clean?
Fourth
72?
week. Yep. Fourth week coming
Yeah,
off. So this
we're in
good
the
job.
second day of the fourth one.
Yep.
So that's great. One thing I did is I signed up for physical therapy. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been doing that.
Nice.
I go
Are you going
twice a
in? Are
week.
you going in fasted? Are you making your appointments so you're fasted when you go
Oh
in?
yeah, definitely.
Good
And
job.
it helps because I'm busy. I'm not
Good.
thinking about food when I'm doing
Right?
that. Plus, I'm finding out muscles I thought I didn't have.
You're getting them back. That's all
I'm
that
working
matters.
on- yeah,
Right?
it helps. So,
And Philip, do you care if I share a little bit of your story?
no, go right ahead.
Okay. Philip's been with me for quite a while, and he's just coming off the 21-day challenge with us too. Philip doesn't do this just for diabetes, but Philip is also doing it because he has Parkinson's. So it's another thing to help him stay stronger, help him stay focused, healing at the cellular level to keep that Parkinson's under control. So again, anybody I know, most of my people here are veterans. Terry's like a family member to me. If you guys see her hopping on here, she's a family member to me that just was in ketoacidosis.
Way I put a message on Neurons if there's anybody else that's got Parkinson's, and I got some very interesting answers. And I got a real great document that I've read it a couple of times now. And it's pretty encompassing for Parkinson patients. So if there's anybody else, they should go look.
Yeah, go put it in the group, and I'd love to see the chat too. Put it in our group.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I guess my point in that is, whether you're dealing with Parkinson's or, Terry Jo is dealing with ketoacidosis, the difference of what we're talking about when we're in ketosis and ketoacidosis, we're at one end of the spectrum and Terry Jo is at the other end of the spectrum this week in the hospital. And it's one of those trying to get people to understand this is not the keto that everybody's doing out there. This is the keto that is healing at the cellular level, whether that's Parkinson's, whether it's ADD, dementia, all the hard things. This will actually help. But for ketoacidosis, this is the answer for ketoacidosis. This is the only answer to fix ketoacidosis, is to get that glucose down and quit those numbers from being so volatile. So Terry, you'll hear everybody talking about how their numbers are going down and they're trying to get that lower DBR. That's how you judge. That's the number you use to judge how deep in ketosis you need to go to heal your body. And that's where every person's different, but it's neat to hear how many different things you can use this as a tool for. So, all right, Philip, any questions this week, or you're fasting and doing good? You feeling okay?
Yes, I am.
Good.
And I got to tell you, the 21-day kick is the best program, because particularly if you've been messing around with keto for 5 years like I was,
It kicks you in the butt, don't it?
Finally find out how to do it correctly.
Yep.
It's wonderful. And you make such a difference.
Yep.
I mean, here we are at the fourth one, and 72 in a while. And I've done 8 in a row before, but I look forward to it now because it puts you right on the right path.
It does. It does. And I think too, getting into ketosis to go into fasting, the difference of how we do it, there's a huge transition shift that is different in your chemistry to get into ketosis to carry your body through a fast. I'm not hungry. I'm not starving. It's all mental. It is all right here of what we got to work through on this. Am I hungry? What I want? Whatever. I'm fine. I have enough body fat. My body is fine. I know that. I see my butt. So that's there. But to know that my chemistry is carrying me, the rest of the work that we're doing right now is the mental game. Why are we struggling? Why do you want to put food in your mouth every 5 minutes? Why do you not feel well? All of those things, when you work through it and you realize food controls you, food is the biggest addiction we all deal with. That's dealing with that long-term addiction of carbs and sugar. It is the same as sex, drugs, rock and roll. It really is. And you got to heal the brain from the addiction, just like you do with everything else, whether it's sex, drugs, rock and roll, or carbs and sugar, all has to be healed in the brain to make this last a lifetime. Now, if I want a treat, it's not that I'm never going to eat a treat again. It's not that I'm never going to have a crumble cookie, but it's going to be a choice. It is going to be a very seldom choice. And I will go enjoy things, but it's not an everyday that the food is running me. I now run my food. And it's part of learning to take control of your life, taking control and responsibility for your health. It's not always easy, but when you can make those choices and move forward in it, and I can choose, I know I'm going to have a cookie hooky day with my kids over Christmas. I'm planning it. It's happening. But when they walk out the door, the cookies will go with them. And I pick up tomorrow and go right back to my plan. It's not that I can't enjoy the moment, but it's not about the food. It is about making the memory with the people I love. So it is. All right. Who do we got now? Hey, Scott, are you glad you came? Come on in.
Hi, how you doing, Tammy?
I'm good. How are you? Good to see you. Glad you made it.
Good to see you.
Well, I
Yeah,
can't see you, but I can hear you.
I know. I don't. I'm on my phone here. Sorry about
Gotcha.
that.
That's all right.
Um,
Come on in.
I've
Here.
I've been bad, so I wanted to. I
Did
wanted
you
to.
come for me to kick your butt?
Yeah, I wanted to come in, and It's okay. I don't. I actually am not fasting this week. That's how bad it is. I'm traveling in a little while, so I didn't want to break a fast on the road. But hopefully get some pointers on how do I get back into this. I did every week except for this week, and
Okay.
I did eat yesterday. These darn Lions are winning, so I'm eating wings, and we haven't had a winning team in about 60 years. So
That's all right. Stick with the wings. You're fine with the wings. If that's the worst you do, you're good.
yeah,
But
I'm not eating any carbs. I don't need carbs. At all really. So I'm doing the sardines still, but breaking it. How do I get out of this? It'll probably be like Sunday again. This Sunday I'll be at our destination. So
get there. And then when you wake up Monday, you have a plan. So if are you going on vacation? Is that what you're doing?
yeah, we're gonna be down in Florida for a few weeks and then come right back. I think right before Thanksgiving, and then we'll buzz out of here again over New Year's. So
Nice.
yeah, it is nice. Yeah, but it's traveling. Every up here in northern Michigan, we don't have many restaurants. Down there, we're just bombarded with them.
Well, Scott, I'll be honest with you. When we're traveling, the best thing to do is fast. It really is. You can do it. Fast through it. Do it clean.
Right.
You save time. You're not stopping at a gas station eating crap. You're not. I mean, it's amazing how much. Now, if you're going to eat, make sure you've planned it. You got your meat sticks. You got your cheese sticks. You got things like that. Work through that as you travel. But keep it stupid simple, because every restaurant that you introduce to your diet at this time while you're struggling, you're playing Russian roulette with everything going in your body.
Well, that's it. We went to Texas Roadhouse, and it started there. Like Phil said, the steak was bigger than my head. It was the 20. What size ribeye? What size ribeye do you have? Well, we have a 27 ounce. We just got it. Well, let me try that. I've never seen a 27 ounce steak.
Yep, it looks like a side of beef. It's a roast.
So I eat it, and then the next day I'm starved. It's like, why am I starving after I ate this big meal the night before?
Do you know why?
I do. I think your sugar goes up because of the protein, even though it's protein and fat.
Yep.
Then the insulin comes in and pulls it way down.
Yep.
I think is what's going on there.
And it stimulates that ghrelin. So as that glucose goes up, ghrelin's getting stimulated. So it's telling your body, hey, I'm hungry. I need that again. So you stimulate what you do today is going to determine how successful you are tomorrow, because it's going to wake up those hormones that we try to wake up at the beginning. Once we get those hormones all working, when ghrelin and leptin get out of whack and ghrelin gets waking up, I remember ghrelin, it makes you have a grum belly. So ghrelin is going to make you grumbelly. So when you stimulate everything and ghrelin gets active and you feel hungry all the time, stop and think about what you consumed the day before. So it's going to stimulate that for you. So here's the thing. Go into Roadhouse, order the big old ribeye. It's the same thing we do. We go in 2 ribeyes, 2 Caesar salads, no croutons, no rolls on my table, and eat half that steak. And then you got a decision made for the next day that you don't have to worry about it. Eat the other half tomorrow. And if you're traveling, a cold steak in the car is fine. It still beats having the burger or having a cheeseburger or something that's going to throw you off the rails. So you got this. Don't stress it out.
Well, next week, I'm bummed because I didn't do a clean 8 weeks till Thanksgiving. I have to kind of miss this week. I'll try it. Maybe I'll start my fast the day we leave.
And jump right back in. You jump right back in when you're ready. And don't let you're not doing carbs. So your chemistry is not going to struggle that hard. It's going to be the mental game for you. So jump back in when you're ready, but get right back on the horse. You don't have to wait it out. You don't have to work on it. You're going to push through. It's going to be the first fast is going to be a little bit harder just because you're not as deep in ketosis as you normally was. It's going to be a little bit tougher, but make a commitment to yourself. You're going to go enjoy this time, but you're going to commit to getting right back on when you're done.
Right. And I did get my blood numbers right after our class. I haven't talked to you, I don't think in a couple of weeks, but they improvement across the board.
Nice.
The biggest thing was triglycerides were at 113, and they've been as high as 240. Usually they're hanging out in the 140 to 160 range. So
and once you get so many months in, most of the time those numbers start to level out. So you don't have to don't stress about it, but getting started is hard.
And then also, okay, I'm sorry.
Nope, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, no, uric acid dropped. It was 7.9 and it came down to 7.2. So I know she wants us in the fives.
Yep.
And still pushing there. So 4care6 is, or 4a6 or 4care meter 6 is what you guys use.
For the
Correct.
uric acid, yes.
Okay.
Yep, that uric acid. And that's such a good sign of knowing that you're going in the right direction, because if that uric acid is high and gout's flaring up and things like that, that's saying that long-term inflammation that you've carried. So as that uric acid starts to come down, that glucose is going to start coming down. And I know even though you don't eat the carbs, you're somewhere in there, Scott was still having some inflammation, some numbers outside that needed cleaned up, whether it was your eating window needed cleaned up, whether the volume of protein going in needed to come down, whatever that is, you've cleaned it up and you'll make that progress, but keep going forward in it, because you want to keep that progress coming so that uric acid is coming down and that glucose is coming down. All that needs to stay consistent. So keep going, Scott. Reach out if you need help. You know where I'm at. You got my number.
Right. One more question. Can I ask you a gross question?
Sure. We like them gross. Go ahead.
Urine, how come it smells citrusy? Is that like the vitamins I'm taking? Is that something?
Between the smells of it and there's colors changes and everything, most of the time, if it is really strong, if there's whatever, keep drinking. You're flushing kidneys, you're flushing so much stuff out. You want to just really increase your water and make sure that sodium is staying good, make sure the kidneys are processing everything as it goes. All of that changes as you start getting deeper into ketosis and deeper hit into that autophagy, where those kidneys will start making new cells and everything starts getting better. I would just make sure you're keeping your water up, because if you're truly smelling something, then I would say you're maybe dehydrated, would be my guess on that.
Okay.
So keep drinking.
Gotcha.
We got to flush those kidneys. Got to
Thank
keep everything going. I thought he was going to have a good poop story or something.
I got those too, but that'll
Right?
be next week.
You got to save those for when Kevin's on. Kevin's the poop story guy. So he's the one that laughs Kevin, every time he comes on, he has a poop story of some kind of catastrophe. And it's like, yeah, keto and poop stories just go hand in hand. So,
Well, it's not as often. So it's a big deal,
right. All right. You don't have to go 15 times a day anymore. Love it.
Right on.
No doubt. All right. We got Susan. Do you want to come on in? Come and check in, Susan. Maybe. There you go.
Susan, correct? There's two Susans. I'm sorry.
Oh, we got two Susans. We got two Susans. Three Susans.
Oh, yeah, three of us. Which one?
You. Go ahead.
No, I'm late. I just wanted to, and I've been doing good. So trying to hang in there. I'm not fasting, but trying to stick to eating everything before sunset has really been a help for me.
Good. Any questions? Anything I can help you with for the week coming?
No, I don't think so. Just here to learn as much as I can.
Good. What Susan's talking about is she's talking about closing that eating window earlier in the day. The earlier in the day that you stop eating is going to give you better numbers in the morning. So that morning number is how we truly read where your chemistry is at, where your body is at. The sooner during the day that you stop eating is the better those numbers are going to be in the morning. And especially for us girls, those hormones have a major effect on if we eat too late in the day, it's really hard to clean those numbers up by morning. And the morning numbers are the ones that really matter. So good job, Susan, especially all the girls trying to back up that eating time. I know Linda and Rob was working on that too, backing that up and not putting anything in your mouth. And that's hard to accept. And it's hard to do when you're used to, oh my gosh, I go to the fridge at night, it's a commercial. You walk out to the fridge, you grab a bite of anything, and just know one bite, if there is calories going in, it counts as a meal. It counts as you've stimulated insulin and everything to be released in your body again. So when you finish your supper at 3, 4, or 5 o'clock, whatever time you can get your last meal in, it is the mental game of not consuming anything for the rest of the night. Water, salt, black coffee, black tea after dinner. That's it. No calories, no snacks, no munchies by the bed, no stuff that you've stuffed in the back. Remember when we went at the beginning and I had you clean out your pantry and clean out your nightstand drawer and the desk drawer and all the things where you have things hid? This is why, because now you're at that point of closing and tightening up that eating window, and you're making it clean into the evening because we're working on your morning glucose. So you don't want to be able to reach over in the nightstand in the middle of the night when you hit that urge and say, I could just have this little Hershey Kiss. It's okay. No, it's not. It's not. So if calories go in the mouth, you've stimulated insulin. So now you're getting that volatile ups and downs again through the night, and you're going to wake up in the morning with a crappy glucose, and your ketones will probably be nil to nothing if you do that. So that is why it's so important. So cleaning up that eating window and moving it closer to sunrise is the win. So again, this is working on the circadian rhythm of your body. That's how your sleep's going to get better. That's how your mental game is going to get better. That's how this glucose is going to clean up. It's all step by step by step. So good job, Susan. Anything we can help you with, give us a call. You let us know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Linda, is that another Linda, or is it Linda? Are you signed on twice?
No, it's me.
Oh, come on in. New Linda. Two Lindas. We got double.
Well, I've been following your Facebook, but I just haven't talked on your program yet.
Okay,
And
come on
I've
in.
been-
Say hi.
Hi, I don't have any major medical problems, only hypertension, and I've been working to get off my blood pressure medications. And I've been doing drboz keto since May, but I started last August, a year ago, on low carb. And I wasn't checking numbers or anything, and I lost like 25 pounds. But then since I've been working with drboz's way of doing things and listening, I've lost, I've lost from 180 down to 141.
Nice
So,
work. Nice
so
work.
I've done pretty good in that respect. And I've just recently, since I've been listening to you, started trying to fast. Now, the first time I did it, I did a 36-hour, and I thought I did okay. And then last week, I worked towards a 40-hour fast, and I didn't do well. My numbers were all over the place. I had a few times I was under 100, but not very many. So I heard you say on your blog, I believe, or the Facebook, that try to get your numbers, your DBRs down before you start fasting. It'll make it easier.
Mhm.
So that's what I did for this weekend. I started like on the 13th, which was last Friday, I had an 83. And by Sunday, I had gotten it down to 59.
Your glucose or your DBR?
DBR.
Nice work. Good job.
And then yesterday evening, when I started my fast, I ate at 12:30. I ate lunch after church. And I checked my glucose just before I ate, and I had a DBR of 40 and a glucose of 76. Well, this morning I checked my numbers at 340. For some reason, I woke up, I think because my ketones were going up.
Yep.
And my DBR was 40, which was exactly the same as yesterday before I ate. Yep. And now this afternoon, I started feeling, I've been out all day. We went shopping into the doctors and different things like that. And I came home and I was feeling a little hungry, so I took a walk.
Good.
And then when I got back, I took a magnesium soak.
Nice.
Because I was feeling bad.
Yep.
And I don't know why, but I was feeling bad. So I said, maybe it's my salt, maybe it's my magnesium, and maybe it's my potassium. So I put some cream of tartar, salt, and magnesium, milk of mag, all in a drink, and drank it, and took a magnesium bath. And not too long ago, about 5:30, I was only like 26 hours into my fast, and I really started feeling bad. And I checked my numbers at 5:30 this afternoon. My DBR went down to 14. My ketones were 3.7, and my glucose was 59. And so I had to eat. Don't ask. I just really felt bad, and that's why I ate. So, I mean.
Yep. So Linda, what happens in that is if you start to go a little bit faster than your body's ready, and it sounds like you did a good push. That's a good thing for that mitochondrial health. So when you're pushing to that next level and you get that next level, that next uncoupling of the mitochondria and stuff like that, you're going to push to that next level. And you did exactly right. If you're feeling good and you're getting into that 48-hour mark and things are going good and you're fat adapted, your body is living off your fat. But when you hit that moment of, you know what, I just don't feel good. You went down through your checklist, you added your sodium, you added your magnesium, you did a float, you did all that. You know what? I still am not feeling really good. You know what? Okay. That's my body's moment to say, okay, tapping out. That's enough.
Well,
And you'll go again.
I ate some salami and cheddar cheese. Not a
Okay.
lot, but some, and I feel better now.
Yep. So that 59 for you right now may still be a little too low, a little too fast. So you did perfect. You went through the checklist. You introduced the things that you know you could handle. And you decided, you know what, you're done. So now you're going to stay in ketosis. You're going to keep going. Next week, you're going to start the fast again with us. You're going to be prepped and ready. You're going to have everything in line. You're going to have your DBR nice and low for the next one. And you're going to push right into it just like you did. So you handled it perfectly, Linda. You really did. So good job.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
And I think learning to listen to your body, that's the win in so much of this, is when you know where your chemistry is, because you may be perfectly fine for the first 48 hours. And the biggest thing you got to learn is you can't let that, oh my gosh, I feel yucky because I want to go eat. You can't let that derail you. You have to do this because you listen to your body and it's a true symptom that you're having. If it's just, I want to punch somebody in the face because I'm grouchy and I want something, that is not helping your chemistry. So and you'll work through those. That's the mental game that you've got to learn to play through. But learning to navigate your numbers, I know when my ketones get much above 3.2, 2.8, 3.2 area like that, that's high for me. I get real jittery. Like it's a weird feeling for me. So if I get much over 3.2 or anything like that, I'm really jittery. That feeling for me is kind of odd. So I usually will break too, but you will learn what your number is and where your body can handle it. But if you're feeling good, that is when you ride out that autophagy. That is when that deep healing is happening. That is when all that magic, the norepinephrine, all that is kicking in that 48 to 72. That is when the magic happens. And if you're feeling good, that is when you ride it out, because that is the goal you've been working for. So good job, Linda. Stay the course, listen to your body, and nice work at listening to your body. So it's really good. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else? Terry Joe, I know you. If everybody could give my Terry Joe a big old welcome. We're going to try to get her on board. It's going to be a slow process. She's never been in ketosis. She don't understand the process. So we're trying to help her along. But I think she really scared me this week. She was in ketoacidosis and had to call the ambulance and get her to the hospital. And if anybody has any words of wisdom that they could share of, this isn't a maybe we can help it. This is we can. It's just you have to commit to doing it. And that's where I hope you have all the love and support around you. I know. So it's one of those, I hope you will. I hope you'll take a minute to listen to the chemistry shift around everybody's body is doing, and it will change your life. It really does. Anybody have anything they'd want to add or encourage Terry Joe to do? Come on, guys. I need you to help me pull her along.
I will say that I took the 21 days and I had great numbers, but I felt horrible. I just really didn't. And now I'm feeling wonderful. So hang in there is all I can say. Stick it out. I'm curious though, maybe you explained earlier and I wasn't here. How do you get to ketoacidosis? Because my ketones like rose really high and I started worrying, like, because I felt bad. I'm like, is this keto? I mean, they were over 8. And I was kind of worried, and everybody goes, no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. So
Okay. Susan, great question. So here's the difference. As we go through our chemistry shift, our goal is we're bringing that glucose down, glucose coming lower and lower and lower. As our glucose gets lower, our ketones shoot up. So right now, your body is still learning how to manage ketones. So it's overshooting. That is not a problem because your glucose is so low. When it's a problem is like with Terry Joe, her ketones, I took my meter down. It was registering high, which means she was over 8. But the difference is her glucose was at 430.
Oh.
So when the glucose stays high and ketones are high, that's a clash. That's ketoacidosis. When the glucose is coming down, And we're talking, you know, most of us, by the time we hit a fast, that we are getting those high ketone numbers like that, our glucose is well under 100, pretty close most of the time. So our glucose is under 100. Then we can get those ketones that shoot up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're fine. Okay. That's the difference of the chemistry shift in our body. We're hitting healing mode. When the glucose is low and the ketones are high, we're healing. I mean, we're building new cell. We're growing new cells. We're cleaning up. Autophagy is going in and cleaning up the broken, nasty cells so we can reproduce a healthy cell. So all of that happens when our glucose is low and the ketones are high. That is our shooting, what we're shooting for. But the difference with somebody with Terry Jo's, where she was so scary, is that glucose was so high. And then the ketones being high, then you got a problem. And that's something we always have to be mindful. That is why we always say you can't, anybody doing this, you know, it's not one of those things, you can't halfway do this program and then halfway do this. You need to get, especially somebody that's truly diabetic, you have got to jump in with both feet and never look back. Because if you combine the two processes and that glucose goes up while you're making crazy ketones, now we got another problem on our hands. So it's one of those, you got to jump in with both feet and never look back, because you can turn that around. Type 2 diabetes is a choice. And I don't mean that with any disrespect. I mean that with love. Of type 2 is a choice. You can fix type 2. We have thousands of people in these groups that will tell you type 2 can be reversed in weeks, months. You can get off medication. I mean, it's a process that can be done. It's just, you've got to want to do it and you got to stick with it. You can't go on for days, you know, jump in and do it for a couple of days and then go off for a day or two and then jump back in for a couple of days or go off for a couple of days. You have got to get in. And Olivia, like she was saying, she's been doing this for 5 years. She's consistently in ketosis now. Her body isn't waving in and out. She went on vacation, came back from vacation, jumped right back in. Her chemistry knows how to do this now. Her body knows how to shift in and out. Our goal is to be metabolically flexible. Our goal is to be able to do that and go have a treat once in a while and our glucose come back down and not throw us off the wagon for a month of Sundays. You know, so Terry, you got any questions, honey? Anything I can help you with? Can't hear you. Hang on, I got you muted. Are you muted? Can you unmute? There you go.
Is that right? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I know where you live.
You know where I live. We'll get you. That's right.
But my A1C is 13.1, just so you know. That's what it was at the hospital. And my triglycerides and something else are super high. I forget what it's called. It's something that starts with an L. It's why I'm having problems eating and stuff. It's like a horrible heartburn, but not like a heartburn.
The least we can do is, I'm not worried about we'll fix your heartburn. We'll fix all of that. We got to get that A1C down, girl. That's how do you even eat that much? How do you have an A1C that high? Good Lord. Terry Jo, you need to decide. I love you. You know, I will do anything to help you, but you need to decide.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on in, Susie. You got a question?
I want to make a comment.
Go ahead.
And that is for Terry. I heard that when you have a high glucose and a high ketones, it's like you have a lot of sugar stored. And that just means you have to really take your time and not try and push it too much, I think.
Yep.
I know because when I started all this, I didn't know about drboz and I didn't know about, some of the other docs, and I was just doing fasting. It was like 20 hours, 4-hour eating window every day. And my body was going through some stuff and I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't understand. And I don't think there was a lot of fat involved in that, adjusting the hormones thing. I think I was still eating ice cream.
Right.
That's ridiculous. I don't know why they have.
And I think that's one of the biggest lessons people need to learn is keto does not come in a box.
No.
Keto, if true nutritional ketosis does not have a label on it, It's meat, it's eggs, it's butter, it's healthy, good, clean food. If it comes in a box and it says keto on it, you might as well chuck it out the window because you can bet your ass it's not keto.
Yeah.
I mean, it just go ahead.
So I just want to encourage Terry that you can do it. It's slow. It's ridiculously slow.
Yep.
But well, at least it is for me. But
And
Thank you.
anybody,
Thank you.
and I think you're right, Susan, anybody with a glucose that high and an A1C of 13, I mean, we try to get our A1C under 5. That's our goal. It's tough because that means what you've consumed over 90 days is getting all kind of numbered together to check that. But you want to be able to get that number gradually down. And with somebody with a glucose that high, we do have to go really slow. But slow does not mean keep eating what you're eating. Slow just means you're going to go nice and slow and get your chemistry down there because we need to clean up all that stored glucose. We need to your body. You have to burn through all that stored glucose before we can get you into ketosis. And that's where that going slow isn't an excuse. And that's the difference of we can't let this be an excuse to let you keep idling. You need to decide tomorrow. Right now is my last day of doing this. Tomorrow, I'm going to start taking steps in the right direction. And if that's one baby step a day, that's one baby step further than you are right now. And that's okay. But that doesn't mean you can't ride your foot in one way of thinking and a foot in the other way of thinking. You got to jump. You got to do it and get it going in the right direction. But you're right. Everybody, any of us that's had major health issues, we got to go slow. We got to go as fast. We got to push when your body will let you push. And then you got to idle and hold space without backing up. It's learning to hold space and let your body catch up until your chemistry is ready for that next shift. And that's not always fast. That's not always easy to do. Hang on, I got people popping everywhere. There we go. It's not always easy to do because you've got to push and you got to push through the hard times. And you're going to go through addiction. You're going to go through withdrawal. You're going to go through emotions because your hormones are going to start up and down. It's a rocky road at the beginning. And that is where you got to choose your hard. Hard is watching you get hauled off to the hospital because you were out of it the other day. That's hard. Hard is sitting there and knowing what you're going through at that hospital. That's hard. Controlling what's going in your mouth. That's just right here.
Right now, because I'm having such a hard time eating, like I've only ate bites of things since I was in the hospital. So I think now is the time to start because I can't eat anything anyway.
Right.
So I'm not thinking about it. Like, I don't know, but I do know that I have to do something so I stay hydrated, and because
that's where that bone broth I just sent home to you will kick in.
Okay.
Sip on that bone broth all day long.
Okay.
As good homemade bone broth, there's more nutrition in that bone broth than anything you're going to pick up and eat right now.
Okay.
Sip on all the bone broth. You know where I live if you need more.
Okay.
Sip on it all day long.
All right.
Especially if you're not eating anything else. Throw the Gatorade away. Throw all the other crap away. Sip on that bone broth for days, weeks. I don't care.
Okay.
Until you're feeling hungry and ready to consume some food, then we'll talk before that. So don't undo all the work you're doing right now, because whether you know it or not, you're doing some good work by fasting right now. I mean, fasting you won't be in a fast like we're talking a fast right now, but right now you're cleaning up some stored glucose because you're not consuming any. But don't be drinking it. Don't be anything, don't be putting any crappy carbs in you right now.
Okay.
Call me and we'll get you through, but sip that bone broth anytime you need it as much as you want. There is no issue. Drink it.
Okay.
Yep. So, hey, got a question? Go ahead, jump in, Olivia.
I just wanted to let Terry know that also being in a support group like this, where you can come in and listen to struggles that we have during the week or struggles that we've had in the past, and then victories, will come slowly and you'll be able to share those with us. And I think, having a group support is just super important. I know that helped me all along. I didn't have it at the first few years that I was doing this, but I have in the last 2 or 3 years, and it's been most helpful. So I encourage you to keep joining us every week.
Thank you.
And didn't Dr. Boss say something about some people need medication to get through this part?
The beginning part, Terry's on a metformin already. So
No.
and some insulin. What?
So they took me off all my pills that I were on. So now I just have insulin for my sugar. And then they gave me a few other things, to help with whatever this is. It's called lipolitis, or I don't know.
Yes. So what she said, yes, she'll stay on her medications right now,
Yeah.
just like normal. So we won't change any of that until what'll eventually start happening that stored glucose comes down, she'll need less and less insulin to keep those numbers stable. And that's where, she will have to start checking. She'll have to start monitoring. We're going to have to know exactly where she's at. But the cool part of it is, as that glucose starts coming down, yep, she's going to need less and less and less of the insulin. And that's the win in it. So that's where even type 1 and type 2, with Terry being a type 2, she can inject and change that insulin. Even somebody that's a type 1, though, when you're talking somebody with a type 1, it's still a benefit to their health to not consume a whole lot of sugar and a whole lot of carbs so that they don't have to release so much insulin. Yes, they can still go eat it. Yes, it's true. Their body does not make any. The pancreas is checked out, whatever. But it still matters to how much insulin do you need injected to keep yourself stable? The goal is to put that insulin fire out, to put that, get that struggle out of your body. You don't want it big, huge spikes and come down. I mean, we had foster kids that, the one little girl thought it didn't matter what you ate. If you wanted to eat a bag of Skittles and a donut, you just injected more insulin. And it's like, yeah, if you don't want no feet by the time you're 40, you can't, that's not the answer. Just because you have insulin going in you, whether it's because you're type 1 and you make none, or you're type 2 and it has to match up with what you eat, it doesn't matter. Your goal is to still have the insulin as minimal as possible. You don't want to just because you can inject more, does not mean you can just eat that much more sugar. And sadly, that is what these kids are even taught. Even children that are type 1 and type 2s are just taught, it doesn't matter, just go ahead and inject more. No. What is it doing to their body down the road? I mean, it's heart-wrenching. So Terry, we will have to go slow, and you will stay on your medication and you will take it and be compliant, or I'll kick your butt.
Yeah. No shit.
Right.
So we have a med line at night.
Good.
Me and Carter.
You got to stick with it. But yes, you will stay on your meds just like they're prescribed, and you will keep going. And as your glucose comes down, everything else will fall into place. It really will. So I don't know if there's questions on YouTube over here because can't find the comments. I don't know how to do this part. So if anybody has questions.
Tammy, there's not. I checked for you.
Thank you. Everybody being pretty quiet over here on YouTube. If you do put questions over in the group, I will get to them tomorrow. And we will try to catch everything up here when my sicky boy gets better. My sidekick gets back up and moving with me. I miss my secretary, so it's all good. All right, guys. Do we get everybody? I think we got everybody's questions, right? I think we're good. All right. Just put your numbers over in the group. Last call for, I probably am. Oh, go ahead, Susan. Hang on. You're muted. You're muted.
You're gonna help me after, right?
If you want me to. You know what? I'm going to have to sign off so I can stop the live, and then I'll jump back on with you. Okay. Just go back on the same link. It'll be all right.
Do I come back in, go out and come back in too?
Yep. Yeah, you will.
What's Lance doing?
What's that?
How's Lance doing?
He's not feeling good tonight. He came home from work early, and he never misses work. So he's up in bed, sipping some tea and drinking some bone broth.
Well, he's doing the right thing. That's good.
He's hanging in there.
Hope he feels better.
Me too. Thank you. I'll tell him you said that, and that'll work. I do want to throw out, if anybody else is still wanting in the brains course, I am going to start the new brains course this week. All my coaching people, anybody in my group will get a $750 coupon code you can use on it. All my cancer survivors, text me. I'm giving you a special code for that one if you're a cancer survivor. But we're going to try to get started this week. I might just be running through details and stuff like that, but I might keep it going till next. And I think we're running that noon on Wednesdays will be Dr. Boz's brains course. This is the same course that she taught the Department of Defense. This is the same one that Brains of Addictions that helps heal the brain from the addiction that we deal with the carbs and sugar or sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever your addiction is. This is the course that will help you. There is something in this course for everybody. I don't care if it's children growing a healthy hippocampus. I don't care if it's teenagers we're sending off to college that think, oh, they make it to school all week long. They're good. They have a couple beers on the weekend and they're good to go. When you see what their brain has done, having those couple beers, just having a slight swelling in the brain on Friday and Saturday, but they're good to go by Monday. Even those guys that are good students, good workers, good whatever, their brain doesn't start developing and growing again for 6 months after the last swelling. So swelling is also known as a hangover or anything like that. So those things are all in the brains course. From addiction to the babies, to the kids, to dementia, Alzheimer's, how we can control all of that, how we rebuild a neural pathway in the brain. So I love the brains course. I love teaching it because it makes me do it. I'm getting ready to have surgery and I know I will struggle brain-wise. Every time you have anesthesia, it's just rough on your brain. So I'm ready to get going on this, and I do it because I do it on repetition over and over and over, because that's how my brain's going to heal. So if I got to heal my brain, I want to take you guys along with me. So anybody that wants in it, reach out this week and I'll get you in. But if not, we'll just start new coaching. I'll probably start a new beginner group here as soon as I get a surgery date. I will start a new beginner and an advanced. So I'll do Keto Continuum 1 through 6 for a beginner group, and then Keto Continuum 7 through 12 for the advanced group. Anybody wanting in to do some personal coaching and some help over those humps, let me know. JourneyToKeto.com is the website. And you guys know the group is Journey to Keto with Tammy on Facebook. And that's your accountability check-in every day. So I appreciate it. Love y'all. Call if you need me.
Thank you so much, Tammy.
You're welcome,
Thank you,
guys.
Tammy.
Have a good week.